Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Say, has anybody else been craving some Deke lately? Because I sure have. Well, I've got you covered. We're taking another look at the G.I. Joe Deke cartoon series.
And today we'll be looking at the episode called The Eliminator. We start off with Cobra attacking a facsimile of the United Nations building. And I mean that in more ways than one. I mean, it looks like at least an homage to the freaking UN building, but it appears to be on an island by itself. And it's a fake one anyway, since it's actually a trap set up by the Joes. Cobra was planning to attack a World Peace Conference, so the Joes led them to this ambush by constructing a giant fake skyscraper. Yeah, there's a military spending joke in there somewhere. Cobra's ground offense is led by Overkill, a robot that's in charge of the battle android troopers. He chases Mercer, an ex-Cobra Viper that's now a member of the Joe team. Mercer gets away, but he loses his backpack and Overkill gets a missile up the ass for his troubles.
Fall back, Overkill! It's a trap!
Now he tells me.
And all of this happens before the opening credits. Yeah, it's gonna be a long one, folks.
After the theme song, Overkill is wheeled into Cobra headquarters. Literally, on a wheelbarrow. Cobra Commander is fed up with the robot and wants to throw him in the trash. Overkill, however, has an ace up his sleeve. He tore off Mercer's backpack that, for some reason, has the location to the actual peace conference.
Seriously, what the hell?
Seriously, why would a grunt carry top-secret information in his backpack while he's in a battle that's centered around the thing they're trying to keep secret? That would be like if everybody in the Fellowship of the Ring had a piece of parchment detailing their plan to get Frodo to Mount Doom. On second thought, yeah, I can maybe see Sam do that. Anyway, Overkill promises to share the information with Cobra Commander, but only if he gets a new body and a special new computer chip that Destro just happened to have developed that will give him, I don't know, superpowers or something.
Hey, I wonder where Destro got that clip from.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking about a killer robot that calls himself the Eliminator.
So, an homage or a ripoff? You decide.
Cobra Commander agrees, gets the information, and decides to have a little fun by informing Cobra headquarters on an unsecure channel that Mercer has given them the location of the peace conference. So, naturally, the Joes overhear this and hilarity ensues.
Duke, my loyalty is with the Joes.
I've been with him, sir. He hasn't had time to send a message.
I'm sorry, Mercer. In my gut, I think you're innocent. But this conference is the most important step towards peace the world's ever taken. The truth is, you were once a Cobra. I've got to confine you to the stockade until this conference is over.
So, you're just locking the guy away, without any due process, or a lawyer, or anything like that.
This series really was set in the not-too-distant future, wasn't it?
Also, Mercer buddy, you should have just yelled habeas corpus and you'd have been home free. Back with Cobra, Overkill has been rebuilt into the Eliminator.
Eliminator? Give me a break! You're the same old Overkill, just a little shinier.
And here we're properly introduced to Metalhead, the bane of the Deke series. And just to avoid confusion, I mean the term bane, not this guy.
Do you want to know why the original G.I. Joe cartoon was my absolute favorite one from the 80s? Well, it's because it didn't have something that all the others did have and forced down our throats. Let me show you.
Snarf! Yeah! Ready? Oh!
The annoying, childish, comic relief character. Yeah, G.I. Joe didn't have that. There wasn't an Orko, or a Snarf, or a whatever the hell that thing from Silverhawks was. The only character that even came remotely close was Bazooka. And hey, at least he wasn't in every episode, nor was he annoying.
Then we got to the Deke series, and the fine folks there took one look at this and said, "Boy, we gotta get us some of that!"
And thus Deke's version of Metalhead was born. Screw you, Deke. Screw you. His shtick this episode will be trying to compete with the Eliminator in hilarious ways, such as weightlifting and snowboarding.
Little exercise, I'll have that hunk of junk whooped in no time.
Try this one.
Help! Help!
Hilarious.
Speaking of hilarity, the Eliminator has a new super weapon, an ice ray.
Sounds positively chilling.
Oh, Cobra Commander, that's not how you do ice puns. This is.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! Stay cool, bird boy. All right, everyone. Chill. Chill.
Well, at least now we know where Joel Schumacher got his ideas.
Anyway, the Eliminator heads for the World Peace Conference. A conference where a lot of world leaders are gathering. And it's apparently protected by just 3 guys. 3 guys that get iced pretty quickly. Oh, god damn it, now I'm making ice puns myself.
Damn you, Joel Schumacher!
The Eliminator runs into the president, or, well, a president anyway, since it's never made quite clear what country he's presiding over. Whatever country it is, they don't appear to have a large security budget, since this president is just walking around by himself. No security, no Secret Service, not even a Channing Tatum in sight. He freezes him, and the popsicle president is revealed to a bewildered crowd of world leaders. Duke comes to investigate, but he's unfortunately hindered by having no peripheral vision whatsoever. Seriously, how did he not see that giant robot just to his left? The unstoppable killer robot escapes on a jet-powered snowboard. And I have to admit, just saying that out loud makes it sound incredibly cool. He is, however, followed back to his base by one of the Joes. So, naturally, a battle breaks out, and it's pretty obvious it's in cold weather conditions, only to show off all the new snow-themed toys, like the Snow Serpents and the Ice Sabers. And it's a battle that the Joes surprisingly lose, thanks to the Eliminator. Oh my god, it's a Terminator-style robot that uses ice puns!
We've got a double Schwarzenegger here, folks! Ham levels are critical!
With an entire squad of Joes taken out, things look grim. The vice president of, like I said, whatever the hell country they're in, gives them just 2 hours before she calls off the peace conference. Seriously, lady, what country are you from? Or maybe they're just the president and vice president of the conference itself, I don't know. Getting desperate, Duke goes to ask Mercer for a helping hand. You know, the guy that he's imprisoned without any due process.
Yeah, if I was Mercer, I wouldn't be giving them a helping hand. Maybe just one unhelpful finger.
Mercer suggests that they use liquid nitrogen to freeze the Eliminator.
Makes him so fragile you could shatter him with the slightest tap.
Okay, we're not even pretending anymore, are we?
We're just gonna straight rip off one of the most famous moments from Terminator 2. So with that, they welcome Mercer back to the team. Even though nothing has changed, they still don't know if he's betrayed them or not. But why worry about that when we can watch Metalhead play with jump ropes?
Fired? We'll see who's fired. Yow!
Yes, this is how the final confrontation with the unstoppable machine starts.
A guy jumping rope. Anyway, the Eliminator gets the best of the Joes, and all is lost. Nobody is dumb enough to screw this up now.
Hold it! I want to talk to these guys before you turn them into snow cones.
Yes, Cobra Commander, who, to be fair, hasn't screwed up yet this episode, decides to taunt Mercer, giving him an opening. Mercer takes the opportunity to convince his former employer that he's still loyal to them. Now, to be fair again, they don't really trust him, but they are interested in the plans of G.I. Joe headquarters, and figure he can't do any harm, especially with the Eliminator there.
Up next, Mercer does some harm.
They bring him in, and he pulls a nitrogen gun out of his ass. No, really, the thing comes out of nowhere. He freezes the big bad robot, and Metalhead gets his revenge by shattering the guy into pieces. Mercer sets Duke and Roadblock free, and please note that Duke is still wearing his goddamn grenades while imprisoned. And they get out of there. With the Eliminator destroyed, the peace conference is saved, and all the frozen people are thawed out, somehow. I don't know, maybe they got the world's largest blow dryer. Because being frozen totally works like that. And we end the episode with Overkill begging to be reassembled again. But they inform him that his special super chip was destroyed, so he'd rather be put back together as a vacuum cleaner than as Overkill again. And since the guy never shows up again in the cartoon, I guess they granted his request? Well, that was the Eliminator.
This episode wasn't actually that bad.
It was a quite fun story with a genuine threat, and Cobra actually won a battle. That, never happened, so savor it, folks. And with the obvious exception of Metalhead, nobody really did anything monumentally stupid.
Wait a minute. What the hell am I doing? I'm being nice to a Deke episode? No! Bad reviewer! Bad dubby! Bad dubby! Bad dubby! Channel your inner critic! Bad! Bad! Hello, I'm the G.I. Joe critic. I play with it so you don't have to. Okay, I feel better now. Look, the episode wasn't that bad, but it still did have its problems. Oh boy, did it have problems.
I'm not gonna mention Metalhead again, stupid as the character is, since he's all over the series. I will talk about the character of the Eliminator, though. Or, we could just drop all pretense and call him the Terminator already. Now, was this character a ripoff or an homage? Well, my fellow reviewer SF Debris says that an homage is something that adds to the original. Oh, by the way, if you're even the least bit interested in science fiction, you should definitely check him out. So, did the Eliminator add anything? Well, they added humor, I suppose, or at least an attempt at humor. But what really pushes this into the rip-off category for me is they lifted the freezing and shattering scene from Terminator 2. That was just blatant.
Also, they could have used a more subtle name than the Eliminator.
Another problem with the episode is the voice acting. Specifically, Roadblock. Just listen to him.
I've been with him, sir. He hasn't had time to send a message. Sorry, pal. What are those weird lumps? Cloudburst. Oh, man, what did they do to you?
There's no passion there. There's no emotion. You're very much aware that it is an actor reading a script.
Lastly, the sound mixing in this episode is really, really awful.
The music is way too loud and drowns out the dialogue. This, coupled with the sound effect used on Overkill's voice, makes him unintelligible at times. Here's the last few seconds of the episode.
I've listened to this over and over, and I still can't figure out what his two last lines were. So, that was the good and the bad. That just leaves the weird.
I mean, if you think about it, it's pretty messed up what happens to Overkill this episode. We're talking about a sentient robot that gets torn to pieces twice in one story. And it ends with him begging to be turned into an appliance, since he'll never be top of the line again, sorta like Bishop at the end of Aliens. In a better cartoon series, this could have actually been a really powerful episode. I mean, imagine if this happened in one of the good Transformers cartoons.
Well, I think we've all had our fill of Deke for a while. So, see you next week, everybody.